What's up, peoples? It's your boy 180 on the rise, day 439. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification button. Like I always, we're just getting started. Let's go.
In fact, the way Logic talks about Quest, Logic and Quest are like me and Israel. When you see him sitting on that show, telling Quest flat out, Logic ain't gonna cut me off because he ain't like you. Which means what? What does she mean by that? What does she mean by that? What does she mean by that?
Run Logic? We trying to run Logic?
Hold on, what are you doing, bro? You trying to run Logic? You trying to run Logic? See how they do it? See how they do it? You trying to run Logic? You trying to tell Logic what to do?
So when we start building our communities back, we have to keep our eye on the ball and protect those communities from the ops and the infiltrators that the white supremacists are going to sit down. This happened 2 years ago when the SWAT raided your house. Was that 2 years ago? Oh, I don't remember. It was a few years ago. It was a few so I want to ask you, do you think they might have or could have planted some it is what it is. The white supremacists will do anything in order to maintain their level of supremacy. They don't want us getting together, being constructive. And notice whenever we as black people get together and we start talking constructively, the trolls are the ones who infiltrate constructive circles, especially the conscious circles. The minute people in the so-called conscious community start talking about building something, all of a sudden random trolls pop up, talking dumb and talking crazy, dissipating the internet. That's not a mistake. That's by design. Okay. Some people want to know, are you really know what their get down is? You got to earn that in order to get on like that. So we'll know that you're down. So when I agree with you on that. Yeah, so what I do, I screw folks up in our movies, man. I got a lot of new folks in the new movie American Maroon. There's good brother Chase McGee out of Georgia. Just really trying to come up. I think people uses our names just so that they can come up, and they got to do it based off of negativity, you know. And I think that's a shame. Talk to us about what really happened when one of the trolls came up on you, Tahar Kabay, of course, and speaking about it. And I've seen the video. He tried to lie, and I've seen the video. Talk to us about that. How did that whole thing with that? Yeah, but the whole thing with Tahar Kabay, he started making videos about me a while ago, and I just never really responded to it. And he was just trying to make me as if somebody kind of put him up to it, just making these real weird videos. Like, yeah, I'm trying to understand what Tariq and FBA is about. Why is this what you talking about? So I threw some shots at him, and then he just started making videos, like literally every day. Just disparaging my family and my children, my wife, and just a whole bunch of whatever. So I don't trip on that too much. And he's been making a lot of threats on that. He's been putting up pictures of me in a casket, like I'm dead, and he's gonna do this, and he's gonna come out here. And, oh, the end is near for me, and when he sees me, it's gonna be on site and all that, okay? So I go to my museum a couple of days ago, and I see like an Easter Island head standing outside the museum. I'm like, what the hell? What is that? Right. What is this big head thing standing in front of my museum? And I know that's not Tahar Kabay. I know that's not him. I pulled up and it was him. Then I pulled my car over, and he kind of walked over, and I'm assuming he's going to try to do all the things he said he was going to do. That's right, yeah. And I'm assuming he has some on him. I'm assuming if you don't come out here that bold, you holding something. So I just.
So she's talking, she's over talking, and Quest is like, Logic, cut her off. Logic, what you doing? Logic, come on. And what did she say? He's not gonna cut me off. He's not like you. What? Quest and Logic is homeboys. Quest and Logic is like this. Now, how do I know that? I know that because I've heard Logic say it numerous times. In fact, the way Logic talks about Quest, Logic But here she is sitting on that show telling Quest flat out, Logic ain't gonna cut me off because he ain't like you. Which means what? What does she mean by that? What does she mean by that? What does she mean by that?
Run Logic? We trying to run Logic?
Hold on, what are you doing, bro? So, she had already came between the two men. Frustrated one of the men enough to where he left. And the man that's left on the panel said, ma'am, you don't know how to listen. I don't gotta listen to you. You ain't my daddy.
And you don't need the Logic.
Really?
Yeah.
So you said I'm not your daddy, so you apologize for what he did. Everybody, no, wait, be tell her. Let's be fair.
Okay,
You heard it, and I heard it, right?
I don't know where it went left. I think that, for one, you gotta understand,
You
like,
don't know where it went left. They are not gonna go against each other for you. They're not gonna do it. They're not gonna fucking do it. So when you men are trying to prove to these women that you're good men and that you're logical and that you're fair, you're playing yourself. Because they're not going to be fair with you. They're not going to go against the sisterhood for you. And I know what you're going to say, but there are some women that say, those women are not part of the sisterhood. Because the way the sisterhood works, the moment you speak against the sisterhood, you are ostracized. The moment you speak against the sisterhood, you are no longer part of the sisterhood. They will excommunicate your ass. You're done. You're done. Which is some shit we don't do. Dudes can go against each other all the time. There is no brotherhood. There is no camaraderie. And this is how they are able to come on to male platforms and take over. This is how they're able to sow seeds of dissension amongst men. This is how they're able to usurp power. Because their chain link is strong. Because any weak link in their chain, they get rid of it. But us, all we got is weak links. That's all we got. All we got is weak links.
Quest, he would have hopped on here and started, if I talk about Quest's wife or child, he would have hopped on here with no mercy. So y'all gotta understand her frustration that her husband was, you know what he said? He said about her husband, he called it, she made fun of her husband, calling her a beta simp. And
Well, guess what?
that's the head of her household. And this man who sits on panels, like he's not one of these chat ninjas, like he sits on these panels and he is a YouTuber. So in all respect, it's just like, you're gonna come on here and call the man of my household, my leader, a beta simp and not think that she's not gonna go to war. So yes, she do.
Okay, number one, what she just said was illogical. Because if he said something about her husband, if he really is the head of the household, if he really isn't a beta, then he's supposed to address that man, not her. I've talked about this numerous times. A wife is not supposed to address a man that she feels is being disrespectful to her man. Her man is supposed to address that. You know why? Because that puts the man in a messed up The husband was supposed to have the conversation in the first place. The husband was supposed to come up on the panel and say, hey, I'm so-and-so's husband, I'm not a beta, why are you calling me a beta, blah, blah, blah. And guess what? If you came up on the panel and addressed Quest and had a conversation with him, guess what? I guarantee you Quest would no longer think he's a beta. But if your wife is on a panel screaming on men, talking over men, like, we know what's going on. Because no wife that's gonna talk crazy to other men is not talking crazy to her husband. Women who don't disrespect the men in their lives, they don't disrespect men in general. A woman that didn't disrespect her father, a woman that didn't disrespect her uncles, a woman that didn't disrespect her cousins, a woman that didn't disrespect her husband is not going to disrespect random men. They're not going to do it. However a woman interacts with you is how she interacts with the men in her life. Flat out. Flat the fuck out. We're not crazy. We know what it is. Right?
And we understand that. We understand that. But what she said is she heard her apologize, right?
She was in the chat and she wanted, it's a difference between saying, oh, I'm sorry about saying that, and saying it to the actual person.
And guess what? If you want, I guarantee you, if she would have just shook the fuck out for 1 second, he would have iterated exactly what he said.
I don't know where all of that came from. Like, no one, he was trying to.
See, they cannot do it. They can't do it. Their brain will malfunction before they go against another sister. They can't do it. They can't do it. The women that are in the sisterhood, you know what their prime directive is? And for those of you that don't know what a prime directive is, it is programming that you cannot go against. Okay? It's kind of like on that movie I, Robot, where the number one prime directive of those robots is they couldn't hurt people. Right? Right? The only way that they can ever stop doing that, the only way they can go against that programming is somebody has to reprogram them to go against their prime directive. They're not going against their prime directive. And their number one prime directive is never to go against the sisterhood. That is their prime directive. That is their prime directive. The number one prime directive of the sisterhood is to never go against the sisterhood. The number two prime directive of the sisterhood is black men ain't shit. The number three prime directive of the sisterhood is to uphold all sisters no matter what. And he's asking her a logical question. Look at how she's damn near malfunctioning. He's asking her a logical question, right? Watch the logical question.
I don't know where
Look,
all that came from. Like, no one was
I don't know why. I don't know where that. I don't know where that came from.
We passed that because right before you, he apologized. Did he not?
He apologized publicly, yes.
Yes. So now, if she said she wanted that directly, then should she let him speak?
I think there's a lot of emotion.
Instead of saying yes or no, I think there's a lot of emotions and a lot of they can't do it. And men, black men specifically, keep expecting them to do it. You keep expecting them to do it. They can't do it. They can't do it. They cannot stand those women because they know that for every woman that against them, they get weaker. Now, I get why Logic was operating like this, because Logic says he doesn't pick a side, he only picks what's right. But here's what Logic and so many other men don't understand, and it's something that I had to come to a realization about. Women know this. Even though they'll say verbally that you ain't shit, even though they'll say verbally that you're some of the worst things in the world, women know in the back of their mind that most men are honorable and logical, and they use this to their advantage. Okay? In fact, I'll give you a better analogy, right? Republicans are like the male political party. Democrats are like the female political party. The right is like the male leaning. The left is like the woman leaning. This is why the left is represented. This is why the left and the Democrats are represented by blue. And this is why the right and the Republicans are represented by red. Okay? The right and the Republicans, which represent mostly men, as far as ideological views, always want to be seen as righteous, always want to be seen as logical, always want to be seen as doing what is right and what is beneficial to everyone. The Democrats and the left don't give a fuck about being right. They just give a fuck about winning. And this is what's going on with the men and the women. The men are hyper-focused on being fair, balanced, and righteous. The women are hyper-focused on winning. They don't give a damn about being right. They don't give a damn about being logical. They don't give a damn about being fair. And the reason why is because they understand that if they operate in fairness, if they operate in being logic, if they operate in being rational and righteous, they would have to fall in line second to me. So what they have to do is they have to be illogical, they have to be emotional, they have to be erratic in order to continue to maintain their false sense of superiority. They have to do that. They have to do it. Why do you think these women dislike Kevin so much? The reason why they dislike Kevin Samuels so much is because Kevin Samuels proved something about these women that the sisterhood had been lying about for years. The sisterhood had been lying about the fact that they did not need men. So when Kevin Samuels became popular off the strength of women coming on to his show to get advice from a man on how to get men, that went against the narrative. And not only went against the narrative, but it put women in a secondary position. So they were looking at these women like, why are you going up there subjecting yourself to Kevin Samuels and he's ranking you? Why do you think shows like Kendra Jesus countered what Kevin was doing? They took the narrative and they flipped it. She goes, Kendra Jesus and the Palooza. But the only reason they're winning is because men refuse to get on code. Men refuse to be the men that they used to be. And this is the reason why they continue to push this narrative of traditional men being toxic, traditional men being wrong, traditional men being monsters and dictators and patriarchal oppressors, because they know that if men started acting the way they used to act, in other words, they started having a code with this ideological war, because they're still trying to operate. It's funny because this is how you know the women are manipulated. Okay? For anybody that thinks that I'm just while simultaneously cursing your name, talking down about you, right? And benefiting from the heavy lifting that you're doing. You now have a benefit from your heavy lifting. They don't come over here with that bullshit because I'm John Connor and I know that they are T-1000s. I know that they are Terminators. I don't give a damn what kind of covering they have on. I know they're Terminators. I know what their mission is. They are trying to convince you to not be a traditional male in the sense of being.
That completes the video. It's your boy 180 on the rise, day 439. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification button like I always tell you to get started. Let's go.